Welcome to the garden. Today I'm going to be identifying whether this is spearmint or peppermint. Now those two varieties of mint can look virtually identical, so I think the best way to tell them apart is by tasting the leaves. Spearmint will be fairly mild and slightly sweet, whereas peppermint is going to be extremely pungent, and that has to do with the amount of menthol in the leaves. Spearmint only has less than 1% menthol, whereas peppermint has a much higher concentration. So I'm getting that minty flavor right away, but it's subtle and it's slightly sweet, like a chewing gum. So if this were peppermint, my tongue would be burning, almost numb, and that menthol has a cooling effect. So every time you inhale, your mouth would feel cold. So I'm fairly confident that this is spearmint. Spearmint is also known as garden mint and common mint because it's the most common variety you'll find in gardens. I think it's actually more useful than peppermint. Not only can you use it for flavoring and things like drinks and desserts, but it's also used in savory dishes like lamb. Mint is pretty easy to identify with its serrated leaves that grow opposite along the stem, and the stems are extremely square. These mint are only about 1 or 2 feet tall, and that's pretty typical. And they have these beautiful little white flowers. These really bring in the pollinators, especially bees and wasps. Mint is definitely best used fresh. Once it's dried, it loses a lot of its flavor. It's kind of like basil in that way. Although if you can somehow make an extract of those essential oils, that can be used to flavor anything from teas to cocktails. It's often used to flavor chocolate. It's more common to use peppermint for extracting those essential oils because of all that menthol. Now apparently there are a few other ways of differentiating spearmint from peppermint. Spearmint will have slightly fuzzy leaves. It's a little difficult to tell, but you can kind of see them when you flip the leaves upside down. You can also look at this portion of the leaf down by the stem. On spearmint it's going to be light green, and on peppermint it can be a little bit purple. Unlike spearmint, peppermint is actually a hybrid. It's a cross between spearmint and watermint, which is another wild variety of mint. And watermint actually has purple flowers. So I think that's where peppermint gets some of that purple coloration. But spearmint can have purple stems and appear to have smooth leaves. So I don't think either of those are great indicators. I would much rather just taste the leaves. So let's pick some of these for a spearmint experiment. These actually make a nice little snack when I'm out in the garden. It's incredibly refreshing, and they're great for digestion. But I'm going to pick some of these younger, fresher leaves, and we'll make a nice little tea. You can even use the flowers if you want, but I'm going to leave those for the pollinators. So that's a nice little handful, and I think that'll make a beautiful cup of tea. So all I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil and then let it steep for about 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, so let's give this a shot. I'm just going to strain out our leaves here, and you'll see that beautiful color. It smells really nice. It doesn't smell quite as minty as I thought it would, but that's probably because we're using spearmint and not peppermint. I'm also going to try just snacking on the leaves with a little chocolate chip. Mint chocolate chip is such a classic pairing. I wanted to just try fresh mint with chocolate. Pretty good. Tastes just like something you'd get, on your pillow, like one of those Andes mints. It's actually really nice. Now, of course, we've got to taste our tea. Yeah, it's actually not very minty at all. It actually kind of just reminds me of a herbal tea, like a rosemary tea. That's really nice, but it's actually not extremely minty. So if you really want to go all out and have a strong minty tea, you probably want to grow peppermint. So if you're looking for a nice versatile mint for culinary purposes, I recommend spearmint. And if you're looking for something medicinal or to extract essential oils for flavoring, then you're going to want to go with peppermint. But I hope this video has helped on how you can identify spearmint and peppermint. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.